to show how we could take our illustrations into Photoshop and manipulate them as well. Um, this time, specifically trying to create or mimic the look of a bad photocopy, like decollage or used in collage. Early American artists tried to play with the Xerox machine as a way to make images, and so we can apply those sorts of textures onto our work and have that experimental style. So I'm going to go to Photoshop where I have some things set up over here. I have two pie illustrations that I did in Procreate. You could easily do on a tablet as well. So this one's very simple, kind of a graphic reduction. And then the other one is also pretty simple with the ink line and color fill. And I'm gonna apply some effects onto these to make them look like bad Xeroxes. So for the first one, I actually downloaded a photocopy texture. So it's great to find all sorts of, a lot of our source image links too will have different textures, different paper textures, torn paper. This is like an image of a bad copy that's got some things going on here where the ink bled or skipped. And so what I'm going to do is drag this over into on top of my pie illustration, and I'm going to use a clipping mask. So if I go to my little hamburger for more options here, oops, you can't see it if I do that. So I'm going to just right click and choose create clipping mask. It's going to borrow where this image is, almost like a stencil. And so now I have like this, bad print on the pie, but I'm going to bring this photocopy texture over again, or I could duplicate the one that I already have in here and take it below my pie. I'm going to stretch this out. It's okay if it's a little bit blurry. And I'm going to play with this bottom layer. I want to go to image adjustments and invert. So it's like a light version instead of a dark version. So inverted the lights and the darks and inverted the values there. And that looks pretty good, actually. I might move it up and down just to see if those sort of like lines kind of match up and appear to be a bad photocopy. So there's one way of working with it. Bringing in textures, applying those textures to your image. Of course, if you have different layers, you could apply different photocopy layers onto those too as clipping masks. Another way is I can work with filters to affect my illustration. So here again, I might bring my photocopy texture down at the bottom. And then I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Desaturate. And I might have to do this again, but I want to get rid of the color and just have the values that are there. And then I'm going to go up to my filter gallery. I might have some things already set, so I'll have to show you how to delete that. If I go to my filter gallery, and oop, it's out of the frame, so let me pull that back into the frame. Let me delete these things. I want to go to grain, so you might have to open up these different folders here. It's in texture to choose grain. Noise also works. You can play with the sliders to see, but I'm just trying to add that grainy texture of like the dot print. So I put it up a lot actually, so you can see that. And then I'm going to add, so if you click down at the bottom, the little plus symbol to say new effect layer, and we're layering multiple effects here. So I'm going to put another effect on top. And this time I'm going to scroll over to Sketch. And in the Sketch folder is a photocopy I don't know why it changes the color exactly, but it does. I'm going to play with that because just to get the right balance of texture inside and the thickness of the line that happens when things sort of distort in the photocopier. I'm playing with those sliders, and that looks good to me. So once you're satisfied with the textural effects that are happening, click OK. And then I'm going to do one final desaturate. So I'll go to Image, Adjustments, Desaturate. And then it looks a little too overall gray for me, so I'm going to play with the curves as well, or the levels, but I'll do curves. So I'm going to go to Adjustments, Curves, and then bring those darks darker, bring those lights lighter. There we go. And I might even, well, we'll just see what it looks like. If I apply a multiply blending mode, then it kind of blends in more with the bottom texture as well. Maybe I don't like that as much. I kind of like the whites of that one. So there we go. We've got two bad copies made from our illustrations.